Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a 63-degree July 19th. It's Tuesday. What's that old Kai doing over there? She must have already taken her nap early. She says it's going to be warmer today. I guess it's supposed to be mid-upper 80s here in Toledo and around 90 in Vancouver. That'd be more like a regular summer's day, huh? That's all right. Right now, it just feels great. Just this ever so slight breeze in here. You can see the leaves kind of trickling along. Birds are flying around. Hear that sound? That's the sound of a combine going down the road. Why didn't things have such a distinct sound?
They do.
All kinds of sounds out here. Look at that. Not a cloud in the sky. The moon's up there, if you can see that. It's gonna be a good day, Mama.
Yes.
Sometimes the old bladder don't make it to work. You gotta make a pit stop. This is the big casino thing out here. It's cool. That building you can see right there. Doesn't look like it'll be too terribly long for that thing's done. It's kind of fancy. This is the parking lot at work. This is the Dairy Queen.
Never seen it before.
And there's little woman.
There I be.
Yeah.
See me all the time.
Yeah. We've made it to Tuesday, Mama.
Yes, we have.
It's gonna be a little hotter today. I think it's already hotter than what it even was yesterday.
Yeah, I think so too.
But it's summertime. Gotta expect that every once in a while.
Yep. If we didn't have the heat, we'd be whining that it wasn't hot.
Yeah.
So.
Gotta experience it all.
I know.
All right, Mama. Have yourself a wonderful Tuesday.
You too, sweetie.
Well, see you as the day goes on.
Alrighty.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love ya.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So, I just got blindsided or faked into believing something. Nobody did anything wrong here now. It's like one of the things I try to tell the young guys and stuff. Look, check all your own stuff. Don't trust anybody. Do your own research. So, when this thing was getting scheduled, so we got a Ryker service. It's a big service with valves and everything. And I go, okay. And they go, I get asked a little bit later, you think we're going to need a valve cover gasket for that? I said, with 12K, most likely not. But I said, make sure we have one on hand just in case. So the odds are absolutely not. So I'm all thinking we're checking valves on this thing. There's only one problem. There is no valve clearance specs. You know why there's no valve clearance specs? Because it has hydraulic. You know, it looks like shim under the buckets. It's hydraulic. You don't adjust the valves in these things. I mean, I got to pop this thing apart to get to the spark plugs anyway. It's only 6 bolts to pull the valve cover off. But, yeah, it'd been nice to know that. Now, I feel like a boob. I was even telling you guys about tomorrow I'll check the valves and stuff on this thing. Need to make sure everything's cool. They need to set a minimum of 4 hours after they've been run because it needs to be at ambient temperature. But doesn't matter. It's all hydraulic. So we got to see the inside of a Ryker again. And if you're wondering what a 600 looks like, it looks just like this except for it's missing the front cylinder. Literally, that's the only difference. Same bore, same stroke, same everything. It's just missing the front cylinder. Kind of wild, huh? I like how they think these things through in a very smart way. Well, there you are. So, kind of one of those practice what... Sorry, I got interrupted with a phone call there. It was another one of the service advisors up there, and I told him what I just discovered on this thing this morning, and he goes, well, who told you that it need valves? I don't think I've ever seen anything about valves on a Ryker. I said, you're not either. Only time you're doing anything with them valves is if you wore the thing out or ran it out of oil and damaged something or sucked something through the intake, or, you know, it'd have to be something, you know, bad. Otherwise, yeah, you don't touch them. He goes, oh no. He goes, how much time did you spend on that? I said, 6 screws, cleaning up some gaskets, and that's pretty much it. He goes, oh, well, isn't it complicated getting the valve? I said, it's about the same as going to the spark plugs. The only difference is I pulled the valve cover off and spent time in the manual trying to figure out what the valve clearance was. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, well, I'll let them know. Don't tell people you're getting a valve adjustment. Nope. And what's funny is I knew this. As soon as I realized what's going on, I'm like, oh, you're such a bonehead, you know. But like I was just saying when I started this, you get yourself, someone plants a seed and sends you right down the rabbit hole. Always verify stuff yourself. That's the lesson of the day, boys and girls. Don't be suckered in. Not that anybody did anything wrong. There was just a seed planted, and we all of us, shot right down the rabbit hole. Easy peasy. She's right back on there. I think probably the most time was trying to find the specs and just making sure everything's clean when I go back together. But it gave me an opportunity to play with my really cool and quite expensive, about 4 or 5 years ago, a little small snap-on torque wrench. I absolutely love that thing. But, oh well, now I'm going to get a cup of coffee and lick my wounds, because it's my own fault. Never trust, you're the one working on this thing. You need to be sure of everything. So the new Sparkies are installed. Look how clean this thing's been running for the last 12,000 miles. All 3 cylinders are exactly the same. Typical BRP stuff. Runs really, really, really good. So she's all pretty much done. I'll put all this down once I put the belt on, and we'll move on. That was the best valve adjustment I ever did. All I had to do was change the oil. There's a little tool I was looking for yesterday. I thought I had one of those myself, but I like I say, yesterday, I think it was actually Ryan's. So there she is. New belt. Part of the 12K service. This thing is tricky to get on and off. There's these shields that go in there. I think they're noise suppressing shields, because CVTs can make some noise and people still hear it. But anyway, there's a shield that goes in the lower left over there, and then there's one that goes almost all the way across the top. And boy, getting that cover back in, she's not fun. There she is. Get that cover on. I can drop the top here and move on with life. So this is a CVT filter that's behind that cover. It's exposed on the side, but it's bolted down. That's what it's supposed to look like. You see when the pleats start collapsing like that, that means it's so dirty that it's trying to implode itself. They actually want this thing replaced at 6,000 miles on the first service. And when you like doing an oil check or whatever, and you open this cover, you can actually see that filter. If that thing looks dirty, ignore. This is like gone too far. But if you see this dirt in here, you need to get that thing replaced. That's what it's supposed to look like. There's your part number if you need to know what it is. Both the engine on the other side and this one take the same filter, which is also the same filter that all the V-twins took. Well, not all of them, because the RS and the early GSs and some of the early RSs took the filter was flat. It came apart in a weird way, but yeah. Keep your filters clean. You wouldn't believe the dust I blew out of the clutch. There's no damage to anything, but that is helping cool it as well. So you want fresh air flying through there. And that CVT system sucks one tremendous amount of air. There's the vent. There's where she exits. And this is where she comes in. So this quick access cover, it's got the quick quarter turn screw there. When you open that up, check oil, or put, that's in there weird. There, it's supposed to be recessed like that. But this is like a ram air for that filter, or the CVT filter. You can see it even seals against this cover. So every time you open that cover, you can see that. That thing gets nasty. Or especially if you see the pleat starting to collapse and, you know, it's just trying to find a hole to get through. Get that filter replaced. There's, what, 5, 2, 4, 5 screws that hold this on. The filter pops out the back. It's pretty easy to do yourself. Filter comes in a little box like that. And pop a new one in there. And if you do a lot of riding in the dirt, that's even more, you know, with the rallies, you tend to do that. Make sure you check that often. So, thinking about ready to drop the body work down and get or the framework, whatever you want to call that, get that down and put the filters on. And the last thing I got to do, I got to recheck lug nut, torque. Look at, I pull the rear wheel off and drain the rear diff or bevel gear. I think BRP actually calls it differential. And of course, XPS only oil goes in there. Good Lord. Somebody was doing some checking. It's never a good thing when you see the meter and a bunch of little check pin things out. Hope we don't shove any of that. You know what you will do to your ECM coupler if you shove something like that in it? Game over. These little pins like this, that is not that big. You shove one of those in one of these little super small pins. Number one, you never ever do that on a BMW, ever. You never probe anything. I don't know what he's doing. I hope he wasn't doing anything like that. But yeah, you don't probe anything ever. It is done with a pinout. So you'll interrupt a circuit, and then you'll have whatever pins that at that point you probe. Let me show you one here right quick. Like, here's a perfect example. Like this'll, that's not one. Here's one. So this will interrupt. I don't want to dig the whole thing out. So you see it's wiring off. One goes to the DME side or component side, and the other one goes to whatever, the sensor, whatever you're testing. And this is your outboard probes that you test. From here, now, you can put a tester probe on it. This is for testing only. That doesn't plug into the bike. The other two sides of this do. Here you can see there's another one there. And then we have these fancy plates that, a pinout box. You use them too. Just so you know, never do that, especially on a BMW. So back to BRP stuff here. So this is exactly why you look at these. See, this one's kind of forward, so the nut will come back. Of course, that's different on 22s, maybe even 21s. This one's, it's leaning on the back side of it. So, but it hasn't distorted it to a point that it doesn't come out. The rear one. Look how far back that thing's turned. It's actually locking the pin in there. Check the torque on these things every once in a while. You have to. It's part of your maintenance. And I would be doing it. I'd get that socket and I'd be doing it on my own in between services. So anyway, I gotta get this thing out. Kind of a no harm, no foul. Believe it or not, there's no damage to that clip. That's scary. And I didn't measure the torque, but I could tell by knocking it loose. It was not at 300 Newton meters for sure. You know, I think it's every 6,000 miles it's part of your service, but I would get that goofy socket and do it myself I'd probably do it half services, like every 3,000 miles. Just check them. It doesn't take much to check them. And if they're done right from the very beginning, you're way ahead of the game. Diff oil's draining. It looked clean coming out. Differential oil or bevel gear oil. In the case of a motorcycle, it's not a differential. It's just a bevel gear. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll ride it tomorrow, verify the oil. They say 3.5. I put 3 in. I ride them, get them full temp, and then adjust accordingly. And finish up with the hubs on this and put this all back together. That'll be that for that. 12K service on a 19 Ryker 900 Rally. God almighty. Well, hello there, you two. Yeah, we're still in our work clothes, and our work clothes are literally stuck to us. We had a little emergency we had to take care of for last hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No.
80-degree weather. Still 78 out here. It's crazy. It's not cooling off. I'm sure once that sun goes down it will, but yeah, that wasn't fun. But we made a big mess, fixed what we had to.
Now we have to clean up the
Yeah, huge mess. But anyway, things happen in life.
Yes, they do.
Owning a home kind of a thing. But anyway, I think on that we're going to roll on out.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. All right. Everything's going to go smooth tomorrow, right?
Yes, of course.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.